But before leaving, I had a company of girls who were telling me, if you know you're pregnant, you have to abort this child. You have to terminate. Yes.
Tell us about this time.
Through blackmail.
Okay.
Someone comes with a different story about my name and tells Pastor, do you know this girl? If you don't know this girl, she's a harlot. During the time she's in church, and at night she goes to Speak Hotel, sells off her flesh.
Had you been Speak Hotel before?
No, I even didn't know where Speak Hotel
was.
Kampala, the only place I knew was church. So it's like I'm a prostitute.
Yeah, but has been prostitutes.
Yes. Yeah. And then the pastor is like, tell me what? Yes, I know that girl. Even at night, she's always there. In the morning, she comes, brushes her teeth, and then stands at the pulpit. And I'm telling you, let me tell you one thing.
The pastor just
let man lie,
but
God will never lie. And before you know it, I was stripped off the pulpit with no evidence, and they didn't even want to hear the words out of my mouth.
The church can be judgmental.
Depression kicked in. Suicide kicked in. I don't know how many attempts I went through. I wanted my life away. I tried all measures. Someone has asked me before how I escaped death. It is God and God alone. I remember one time I got some transport from Kampala to Jinja. I wanted to come back to my people, at least to die here. So when I reached the bridge, I told the guy to stop me over. I remember we used to stop over around there where the police guys are nowadays, the harbor. So when they took me out, my mind was like, just throw yourself in the deep waters. Just take it away. Because first of all, let me tell you, it is very hurting a name to be tarnished.
Yeah.
And a poor name, a girl from scratch, a girl from dust.
Like I have nothing.
I have
nothing.
Exactly. Because you're talking of a girl who is a prostitute. The girl is sleeping at church. I even have no home. It is the church giving me where to sleep. Now, at what time? Where do I pass? Where is the gate man? How do I do it?
Okay, so after you're thrown out of church?
I'm thrown out of church.
What next?
I think of myself and I'm like, so now what do I do? Where do I go? Who is taking me now? So this is what happens. I think of a job. And I'm like, Joanna, it's time to hunt for a job. Yes, you love God. God is for you. But go look for a job, or maybe soak your head into working and keep coming to church.
Yeah.
Because this was the criteria.
Keep coming to that same church.
To that same church.
Your mind was still, I'm still coming
and
back.
And that is me.
Oh, God.
That is me. It is rare to run from my enemy.
Okay, you're looking for a job.
So I'm looking for a job. I'm going through Kampala, and let me tell you, I'm a villager who doesn't know streets. But my cousin tells me, trace for a street called Radio 1.
Okay.
Radio 1. There is a radio called Kabozi Kubiri. There are some vacancies. So this girl is very wise for me. I start moving by. I inquire from people, where is this road? Where is this road? I reach there. I see a vacancy of Celtel, which is Airtel now. It is in Celtel as a sales representative. And I asked them for a job. They're like, you can do sales? I'm like, yes, we can. But then we used to sell SIM cards, T-shirts, phones, and those things. So we used to travel a lot. Go to this place, go to this place, go to this place with your team leader. And then when you make targets, they give you some monies. Of course, very small. They couldn't give salary, but it was a daily
commission.
Pay. Commission, yes. So I'm moving. I'm so committed to work and those things. At least I remember it was less than a month. And then the devil comes again. Because the devil comes to kill, steal and destroy. That is his work.
Especially if you have a destiny. If you have a destiny, the devil is going to try you.
He will torment you all levels. So it has been heartbreaking for decades when I could talk this story, but now I am so confident that it happened to me to heal others.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to my team leader. Right now he's a father somewhere. He's someone's husband. He's now a born-again Christian. I don't know what came over him. And the best gift he could give to such a little girl was forced sex. I yelled, I screamed, I cried for help. No one was there to hear me.
Wait, okay, so office.
It was an office, it was a store.
Jesus.
Because they used to pack their stuff, team leaders were given stuff for us, the sales representatives, to go and sell off. And it happened just chop. Now, before I joined Kampala, I was in a class. They were telling us about very many things about life. And then this teacher here in Jinja, it was a pastor's wife, she spoke about rape. She mentioned this and I've talked about it on media. So I told someone about what I had. This lady told us, when you are at the verge of being raped, ruthless man has reached you a level where you can cry no more, just give in to save your life. Because some rapists also kill.
Yes, yeah.
Some rapists take you into being a disabled.
Yes, sir.
Because they want to end it there. But sometimes when you release and lose, they take the innocence on them and like, let me force this sex on this girl and at least leave the rest to her. So when I was done everything, because there is a time when I reached, I'm like, it's life that is going now. The strangling, the infliction of pain on my body. And then what I did, I was like, now lose it. So when he did it, I mean, I had the conscience in me that it was wrong. But in me, I was praying, at least live a life for me.
Oh, God.
Remember, I've been suicidal once upon a time, but still I'm asking for a life. At least I wanted me to end it myself, but not someone else.
Yeah, wow.
So that is how it happened, Daisy. But remember, this is all happening, but I've not quit on God. This is all happening. I am abusing God. I am fighting him, but I'm not quitting on him.
So wait, tell us life after the rape.
Life after the rape. So one time I remember as I was renting somewhere in a hostel. And then I was just seated. And a girl comes because I'd begun falling sick. But little did I know I had conceived. Let me tell you, when you're suffering, when you have a torture, a torment, a trauma, a depression, and you're going through a life, you can forget about yourself.
Okay.
So I was sitting and a girl was like, your feet is swollen, as if you're carrying twins. When this girl spoke this thing, it put me back. I'm like, Tendo, you're pregnant. These are 4 months. I had not even remembered. I've not gone to my P's. Remember, I'm a mother to myself. I'm a father to myself. Pastor has pushed me out because of a blackmail. Now I'm just there.
Yes.
So I had a girl, I was taking care of a certain girl. I tell this girl, you know what, Regina, I want to take you out of this place. Let's go together. But before leaving, I had a company of girls who were telling me, if you know you're pregnant, you have to abort this child. You have to terminate whatever the sex, you have to do. First of all, you're young. Secondly, the shame. The other thing is no one is going to take on your story. You tell someone you're raped. Who is going to take on that thing? Remember the initial news say you are a harlot. And now the harlot is being raped? Does that make sense in someone's ears? So, to cut it short, I carry Regina with me, go to Nakulabie. We rent a small, very small, like a store. Because the landlord was like, I don't have rooms, but if you can keep up there, you begin from there. So I'm with Regina. I disclose to her. I'm telling her, Regina, this happened, this happened, this happened. Now it is up to you. You stay on my team, but I want you to still go to church and get to know if these people follow me up and want to know exactly that beautiful soul, where is she? I'm telling you, before you make a mention of anything, the heavens have endorsed it.
Oh, wow.
So Regina goes to church, and the first thing Pastor asks her, where is Joanna? Regina's like, Joanna is somewhere. I'm going to look for her. Actually, she said, I'm going to look for her. So Pastor is like, please let her know that whatever anyone brought to me, we proved her innocence. She is innocent. Let her come to church. So when Regina tells me that, I'm telling her now we are pregnant. Where are we going? A harlot is pregnant. So I tell Regina, get a pen and paper. Let me write my story. So I put my story on a page, and Regina takes the page to my pastor. When Pastor reads through the page, Pastor says, Lord, I am to blame. I saw this dream before it happened to this girl. So I am warning anyone, dreams can happen. Dreams can come true. Sometimes you need to pray about them.
Yeah.
It can happen. Yes, it can happen to either a person that has appeared in the dream or another person. And many times when I'm in prayers, I pray a general prayer. I say, Lord, if it is happening to me, then I'm praying for everyone going through it.
Yeah, wow.
So my pregnancy stages, people dreamt about me, including my parents, including everyone, when I have not told anyone about me.
The Lord vindicated you.
Vindicated. And that is how my sister came for me, took me back to the village. I gave birth to my prince, my firstborn.
Yeah.
So, tell me about his father. He says he's not responsible. He cannot be the father to the child. And we walk down with this child. We take him through life stages. We carry him with my parents. He met the father at 14 years of age.
So, what was your mind after the rape scenario? Your state, you're depressed, you're all
Yes.
that. What was your thought towards God?
I cursed God because I don't know how many times I quarreled with him. I told him, now, God, I don't know your plans for me, but your plans are fake sometimes.
Yeah.
Because where were you
when this was happening?
if you say your eye is on me? If you say you sleep, you don't slumber. Where were you when the things were happening?
Yeah.
And now even the guy is not responsible. He's saying he's not a father to this child. Now, what do you expect me to do? But the other thing I used to cry about was my name. I'm like, Lord, I've come from scratch. Everyone has watched me. Everyone has watched me come out and go out. Now, who do I tell about this thing? And now I'm having a child who I look unto almost on a daily. I have to proclaim and pronounce and confess everything good to this child. But a bitter woman claiming, you boy, you have to win. A bitter woman pronouncing to this boy, you have to be victor.
Pour water.
Pour out how? You know? So I used to debate about God and tell him, God, you're not fair. God, you're not this. But let me tell you, I kept there.
You kept in that? Wow.
I kept in there. I never backslid. I never ran away. I never said I'm going to do this.
You found another church?
I didn't find another church.
You're saying that woman?
I wanted to go back to that church.
With your child?
Yes. So during the time of preparing to go for delivery, this pastor, because I call her my mother, she had a dream. And the Lord was telling her, Joanna is innocent. Pay for her hospital bill on time. Wow. Pay for her whatever she's going to eat to take care of the child. And in 2 weeks' time, if she's ready to come back, give her the chance to come back to church. And Pastor calls my mother, the same thing happened. So after 2 weeks, I come back to Kampala with my son. Let me tell you, the latter glory, the latter glory shall be greater than the former. I'm telling you, Daisy, when I came back with my boy, life was so beautiful. How? I was fed by the ravens.
Wow.
I didn't go to look for a job like I was quaking and struggling the other time. Everything was on a silver plate. People gave me, people cared for my child, and everyone used to tell me, we don't need to hear your story. Just keep there.
Wow.
Keep in your place. Keep serving the Lord. Americans came. I was given dollars in salary. I was paid allowances. I was given advances. Every white who used to come to our church would spot me before I make a mention.
Life after that?
Life after that. The devil is still a smart guy somewhere. Everything was torn away from me like Job. Still a blackmail came. And this blackmail was about my pastor. Someone told Pastor, Joanna wrote a very bad email to the sponsors of this church because the church had donors, that I made a mention of her name out of whatever services rendered to the church. I spoke negative about her name. And this time, nobody could tolerate me. So elders were like, she has to go. And Mommy, this time she will not come back. Hey, it was tough. I was pulled off the pulpit. And by that time, these smartphones were nowhere. We used to go to internet cafes, and someone was having evidence and proof that I wrote an email. Now, this poor thing of me, in me, I even didn't know the email of this guy. I even didn't know how to type by then. And now and the pastor is sure I wrote the email.
Yes.
So depression is too much. Suicide comes back. I used to hear voices telling me what to do. When I became a loner, I didn't know how painful it is to be a loner. I mean, you're pulled out of the crowd. You feel the pain alone. Because I became ashamed. Everyone went away from me. But this is what the condition of the church was. We give you time to repent. If you feel like staying back, you have chance to come back. Now what I did as a wise girl, I stayed there. But you're not allowed to step the pulpit. The sources of survival are all blocked, including my American friends, including everyone. You have to stay there with your child. You have to be beaten on a daily. They have to preach about you on a daily. I stayed. And then the voices were so strong. Why don't you just throw yourself in the jam? Why don't you do this? I became a playground of the devil. I became something that, I mean, had I to give in, I don't know, I would have died a painful death.
Wow.
But Daisy, I kept on myself. Even one time when I felt like I needed to end my life, I kept on this voice of saying, Joanna, you don't have to end it like this. So, as I was there seated, I see a face in the crowd, in the big church. And this face looks at me. Now I'm back to the pulpit because of the grace, enough grace that was given to me. I was put back to the pulpit. I think it was my first month back. I just see a face in the crowd. This face looked so innocent. We did an eye contact as I was worshiping. And I felt like I needed to know this person much. Why is this person looking at me? Little did I know that the devil can sugarcoat a human being and you feel this person has to be my friend, yet it is an agent of the evil world.
Break you.
So Joanna is desperate. How? Desperate for a friend, not for a man, because I'm a rape victim and those things. But I needed a friend to stick by. Everyone has gone. I'm just bringing back my name. And then this guy comes. Daisy, this guy came for himself. Not anyone even gave him my address. He just came. How? Through my son. Started giving him gifts. And I'm like, wow, God.
Someone loved my son.
Yes. We are accepted again. So to cut story short, he asked for my hand in marriage in just 2 months. Now, because of desperation and because of this lonely life, I just said
Depression.
yes. Because I wanted to belong somewhere. I wanted to have belongings. I wanted to at least to feel like I have someone who accepts me.
I'm loved.
And then this guy tells me he's a pastor. Tells me he has a church. Tells me all those 3 things. And I'm like, I don't mind about anything. I just want to be someone who's someone. Little did I know, it was just a sugar coat. So I go into marriage with this guy. I will forget the pain, but I don't want to see anyone in that pain.
Wow. So it was bad.
Terrible.
Okay.
This relationship between father and son was because he wanted me as the woman. He first cut the relationship with the boy. And on a daily, he asked me, take this child out of my house.
Oh, God.
But to where?
Where?
I'm a church girl. I got pregnant from church. I've known church. And you're telling me take the boy away to where? A boy who seems to have no father. To where?
Who has you as your life?
So it began there. He began beating. He beats you at no reason. And then anyone intervenes and like, why beating this girl? You're going to end this girl's life. Like, I don't know what has come over me. Now, one time I was doing laundry. That's when I find something that pulled my attention. And this something was like cigar, but in a pastor's pocket.
Yeah.
A so-called pastor's pocket. On smell on it, I'm like, okay, I'm beginning to read the story now. So one time my in-law, my sister-in-law, and this guy was not around. He's like, now, you know, you're married as a young girl, but we see you have all the brains. Now we ask you to help us. We used to think someone is telling me a story that no one has told me. But a story that I insisted on and no one told me. Through my husband, I told him, Habi, you need to tell me your life. Because in 2 months, I wasn't given a chance to know you. This is Kampala. I didn't know you. We fell for each other, and now I'm here for you. But I'm seeing some weakness somewhere. As a pastor, the so-called man of God, what is it? And he tells me, nothing, my wife. I'm okay. So he's away, and this sister tells me, you're going to help for us because our brother stayed on drugs for a long time. And for us, we thought he's a born again, but he's still on drugs. And I'm like, okay. The poor girl is again back to suffering. So as the sister left, the sister was killed. Little did I know the Lord, of course the life was taken, but also it was an awareness to me because she brought my eyes to be open at that. Because whenever this pastor could beat me, the only thing I could remain with was a little breath. And if you to escape out of his hands, you could stay in coma for, if not for 5 days ahead of time. But when I ask him, why do you do that? He gives you no reason, but because of the drugs.
Oh, it wasn't.
You know, he could abuse everyone, be it in taxi, be it on food, abusing my parents and other things, and even negligence to his own children.
What about the church? The church members?
Not minding about who says what, but in church, we are so holy. And I could not even speak about him. That is me.
Because there's an image.
That is my character. I don't speak ill about anyone, even though I'm in pain. But little did I know that the cards would be played well. And one time, someone caught him red-handed, smoking. And everyone was like, this woman is a woman, for sure. And that is a decade down the road.
So how did you get out of that marriage?
I didn't really want.
Okay.
I waited on days for him to change. Even when he's watching, even when he's listening, I did everything. I went to courses. I wanted to know, where is the problem? It might be me. I'm a Christian, yes. But maybe things go off my shoulder without my notice. I waited on him. I cried unto the Lord for him to change. Nothing. Another part of it is when he began womanizing. And I'm like, okay, I can still stay home. But what are we going to do about this sick world? My kids are still young, and how about the infection, the transmission? What do we do? But the breakup, I used to come home, settle a little bit, and go back. At one time, he chooses by himself to get another woman. So when he gets this woman, I'm like, okay, it is fine. I think we end it at here. He's married somewhere, but he does not give me the divorce certificate. I'm like, okay, I'll stay single. Daisy, I stayed single, I think, for over 6 years. I had closed out every world, and I'm like, I want to concentrate, ministry and then my children. But I want this upon every man who feels like tarnishing a woman's image is the best job you are given. What he did was to follow every step that I take, every success that I reach, tarnishing your image, tarnishing your name, wanting to fight. Even when he finds you on the street, he just causes something. So I survived very many things at the swimming pools, that despair. My heart was being taken back again to the pain that I was fighting.
Yeah.
So that is when I make up my mind. I'm like, why don't I leave this place? I go and die from a place nobody knows about.
Yeah, okay.
So I joined the company and I'm like, let me just go and die from a place far away from home. Let me just leave. Because nobody wants me alive. Nobody trusts me. Nobody believes in me. You're going to ask me how about church. I kept in church. But I want to tell you, when your life is not content at a point, you will keep up with the struggles.
Yeah.
Because I used to stand at the pulpit, yes, but I had the pains. I had this private life. I had the torture. I had the domestic violence, which I didn't disclose to anyone, not even my children. I kept there because I thought a life would change a day. So, ladies and gentlemen, Daisy, that is how I live. I go to Jordan as a housemaid. But my target was I wanted to come back dead.
Yeah.
Not even my parents knew, not even who knew. It was between me and myself. I said, it's better I die from there. So I reached Jordan. I came to a certain house and life was hell. It was terrible.
You got what you expect.
I got what I asked for. Because I was working at 5th floor. You know, you could clean the window panes, you could clean everything, but coming back in the house alive, you could count yourself chanced. So it came to a time, I don't know if it is a disc that was dislocated, but my back got a pain, a terrible pain. But this boss could not tolerate anything. Like a housemaid is sick, you kept working. So I began throwing my weight on a daily. Now, I used to meet some Ugandans occasionally in different places, but they used to tell me the Joana we saw come in is the Joana, is not the Joana now, and we advise you to leave. So I insisted because I wanted to keep there. What I wanted was my life to go. But my salary was being paid and I used to send it here. But my parents didn't know what I was going through. So I lost weight. So until I cut ways and I left the country, I left that nation and I came back. So when I came back sick, so disabled. I wasn't able to do anything by myself. But, as you know, when you're chosen by God, I was on my YouTube and I was just going through some things. And then I saw a program of Pastor Namutebi Lugala, Liberty Worship Center. So she was having a mission, a crusade and conference in Namutumba. And then a voice told me, instead of staying here sick, just go and involve yourself somewhere. I woke up like a mad woman, so sick, because whenever I could walk, everyone was like, Bananga, she's going to fall. You people, you have to give her help. I told Mama, come, pack for me 3 dresses, pack for me this and this, I'm going for a mission. Are you serious? I'm like, when you reach, I'm like, thank God my parents got born again and they believed in God. So when I told them the only healing that can come immediate is me going back to ministry. And that is how it happened. When I reached there, this lady had seen me already somewhere, and she told me, come and interpret me. But the person interpreting, as a Carlton, looked so better than the person who was interpreting. The only thing I remained with was the voice. But you could not admire to look at me. So when I was interpreting her, she turned around and told me, whatever you had done to your life was not godly. And so she had to tell everyone, to encourage every girl out there, to encourage every woman, don't you quit on your life. This girl is now a testimony. She has come back, I know, because they told her I had gone. Only the appearance showed her something was wrong. So I come back to ministry. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, chips and chicken can fail to give you the ingredients in your blood circulation. but the word of God cannot fail you.
Yeah.
I kept in church since then until lockdown. My life came back. My energies came back. My beauty came back. My story came back to reality. And I was back to normal.
Wow.
So I kept in church. I kept doing work. I kept doing everything. But besides everything, I had to forget the past. As a single mother, once married, went through torture, I had to forget the past. I loved my children. I helped them bond with their father regardless. And whenever they could ask to call him and talk to him, I'm like, the phone is there. Because I wanted the bond to stay there. Why? In his image, he was created. Other things, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, you're in this space, you're in a good place now, you're healing. How do you meet your husband?
I had closed to love life, of course, because I wanted to give myself chance. And I had sworn I would never get married. I hated divorce with a mention of it. And I played all my cards very well not to divorce. So I stayed out for 6 years. I did everything to stay even in purity. Because as a single mother, let me tell you, once you were married, it calls you back. Even the married men will see you as a chance. Even the vubukas, the small boys, will see you as a chance. Because what they see you as is just for sex.
Yes, yeah.
They know you belong somewhere. You have to belong to someone. So being single for that long was not an easy joke. Was not an easy journey. It was not an easy walk. But I had to keep there. So it comes to 2020. I was in Ginger. I had come back just to check on my parents. And then lockdown comes in. So I'm home, but we are commuting to different places. We meet different faces, we meet different people. But there is a man who had become a friend of mine. Just occasionally, we bumped into each occasionally. We were somewhere, in a mission somewhere. So on a team that I had gone with, this guy came. I was like, hi sister, hi. Just that. So I went to work in Jordan, and he kept on the media, just keep checking on me. So when someone told him that I had gone to work, he felt so bad. He's like, no, at least pastors would have stood with you. We are going to lose your life and those things. So we kept on talking, just occasionally. You know, someone checking on a sister and cries and those things. So he knew about my sickness. He's the first person who knew. And then he was like, no, you need to come back home. At least come back and do other things. It was not easy to come back, but we planned. We planned with other people, plus my sister. We joined the efforts, and then I came. So when he came, he became consistent. How? Checking on me. And he's like, so what are your plans? And other things, you know, that friend. What are your plans? What is next? Now you're back. He used also to give me some care, upkeep. You're not working now. How about if you did this? How about if you're smart, you're wise, you're this, we are proud of you. I want to tell you, sometimes women, we fear to initiate. I initiated first.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I looked at this guy, and I'm like, wow, this care I've never seen. This consistency I have never seen. He's single. He's just there. Why don't I say something? Let me tell you, Daisy, there are other things when you don't have to wait for the enemy to snatch that thing away from you.
Okay, yeah.
So we're seated in my mother's sitting room, and I'm like, hey, guy, you said you're not married. How about if you look for me around a guy, but I was meaning him.
Okay.
But if you look for me, your brother around, you have a brother, you have a young brother, you have someone around. I mean, I can give myself chance again.
Yeah.
I feel I can love again. But remember in our conversation, I used to tell him, I can no longer love.
Yes,
I can no longer get married.
Yeah.
I can no longer get pregnant. I can no longer do this. Those things, I hate it. Let me just concentrate. And I was like, okay. You mean you're back to love life? I'm like, yes, I feel I can love again. He's like, okay, let me go look for someone. I'll let you know. So when he goes back, I think it takes him like a month. I'm insisting, man, I want someone handsome. Even though among us, your colleagues, your class, they are the pastors, I can give someone a chance. So he writes me a text and he says, I have found someone. I'm like, okay, let us meet and you tell me his content, give me his profile and what things. So he comes back home because me, I'm a transparent woman.
Yeah.
You can't find me in the dark. You can't find me in those
what
funny.
Is what you get.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he comes home and is like, I found you one. So I asked him, is he learned? Is he rich? Is he because I told him I'm tired again of going to the other old life of looking for a man who doesn't have money. And of course, I didn't have money as a priority.
Yeah.
At least a starter pack.
Yes,
Those little dime. Yes. The guy says, I've found him. And even he has more than you're asking for. I'm like, yeah? Tell me, where is that guy? He's like, the guy is me myself. Oh my.
Okay, that's beautiful.
I screamed and I was like, oh my God, no, you're my friend. I at least I wanted someone from other place. But remember, in me, I had seen a beautiful person in him. So I didn't waste his time. I'm like, are you sure? Can it work out for us? I'm hurting and you're already hurting. Also, you have your past. Will it suit? Will it match? And he's like, no, me, I've seen God in you. The God in you is the one I want. I told him, come to my parents. Already had become a family member. So everyone was like, oh my God. Even my father was like, no, you guys, you're playing. It's a prank. This guy has been here with us, playing with your kids and all things. Again, how is becoming a father, the person they've been calling uncle. And I'm like, yeah. Then mother was like, it's better. Because they have known each other, at least it's better. So in lockdown, we introduced, we did mini visit, we introduced, and then wedding. I settled.
So how is marriage now?
Marriage is good.
Okay.
Someone says marriage is not a bed of roses. In Christ, it can be a bed of roses.
Okay.
Actually, not even roses, because roses have thorns on them.
Yes.
It can be Christ himself in your marriage.
Yeah, wow.
I have seen love. I have seen peace. I've never been in this life of clocking a week with no stress. I'm making 2 years in marriage, but I'm always telling everyone as if I'm in a borrowed life.
Wow.
As if this life does not belong to me.
So God can restore.
He is a restorer.
There are good people out there.
So many.
Not all men are dogs.
Not all men are dogs. And not all men belong to one mother.
They're
No.
Christ-like beings.
Exactly.
So God has transformed your life.
So very much. I have healed.
Has healed you.
I have healed.
Has restored you.
I see my tomorrow. I make a mention of anything and I get it.
The children have a father you'd want.
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. We are in a home, not in a battlefield. We belong to each other. I miss him on a dot, every dot. I count him as a blessing to me. I call him my life. Let me tell you, God lives within human beings.
Wow. Yeah.
He's not high in heavens. He's within us.
Dwelling amid us.
Yes.
And only God can lead you to people like him.
Exactly. He has made me forget my past very quick.
Wow.
He has made me forget of whatever happened to me.
Wow.
He forces a smile on me at every cost. I have to smile.
Wow, Joanna. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Daisy.
For honoring our invitation.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You've been blessed. I know people have learned. People have hope in God again.
Yes.
And will not give up on God.
No, don't.
Okay, guys, this was a beautiful session. Please don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. And please comment and tell me what you think about this episode. Until next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.